Hello everyone, welcome to SC2 Noob School. As always, I'm Trebus, and I'm back after a long period of not... Actually, it feels like a long period. I don't know how long it was. I don't know, it's been a while. I wasn't making videos because I was deathly sick. I was dying. Okay, I wasn't quite dying, but I was very sick and my voice was not working whatsoever, so I could not cast anything, but I'm very happy to be back. And today, I'm just going to be doing just a straight up commentary. This is WhiteRa on the top right as the red Protoss versus Softball. This is actually Fnatic Sen in the bottom left as the blue Zerg on Shakuras Plateau. So yeah, this is Sen. I'm not sure exactly why he's playing under the ID Softball, but I don't know. Whatever, man. I mean, why is WhiteRa's name DuckloadRa? Well, actually, that's because that is his sponsor is Duckload, and as a tribute to his sponsor, he just went ahead and put Duckload in his name, giving him one of the most ridiculous names I've ever heard in my life, DuckloadRa. I can't say Duckload seriously. I'm not exactly sure what comes to mind when I say that, but whatever it is, it's just very silly. High five coming up. Bam! High five. There you go. Alright, so each of these players scouting each other, doing the smart thing, the thing that pro gamers do, that a lot of casual ladder players don't do, which is a lot of people don't realize on this map you cannot spawn on vertical positions. So if you're in the bottom left, your opponent cannot be in the top left. If you're in the top right, your opponent cannot be in the bottom right. So go ahead and just scout cross positions, and you'll be doing just fine. Now I will say these positions are going to be very conducive to a macro game, and in fact really a lot of Shakuras Plateau games turn into big macro games because your expansions tend to be fairly easy to take. And whoa, little drone doing some blocking there, and DuckloadRa actually not noticing that for a second. Ooh, that's always kind of tricky if you can do that as a Zerg player. Predict where that building's going to go, put your drone there, and sometimes the Protoss, if he's doing some aggressive scouting of his own, won't exactly notice it. So Softball going for that hatchery first, then getting his spawning pool up and some gas. Very normal opening for this kind of positions. Also going for a gas steal versus DuckloadRa or WhiteRa. I'm going to say WhiteRa. I feel like I should kind of say the name that is on the screen, but that's just so ridiculous. I can't say DuckloadRa and even take myself seriously. So Sen doing the gas steal, this delays the gas pretty significantly. It makes it a little bit harder to get a ton of sentries out or something like that at the very beginning of the game. But the other thing that stealing a gas can do to a Protoss is just encourage them to do a 1 gas 4 gate, just because that's an easy strategy to default to. The other option is to take what WhiteRa is going to do and go for a very fast expansion. Can't get that gas, it's out of the question. Gas is coming out too late, plus they're on really huge cross positions on a big map. Taking that Nexus as early as he can. Solid WhiteRa. WhiteRa is an incredibly good player, by the way. Definitely a pro. Sen also extremely good. So see here in the production tab, not too much going on the Zerg's end, just getting one little safety spine crawler. Okay, 2 spine crawlers. I guess he's just now scouted 2 more gateways going up, and he has not yet seen the expansion. Now he sees the expansion. He's going to be a little bit less worried after that. I wouldn't even be surprised if he cancels one of those spine crawlers, but why not just leave it up? Spine crawlers can do nice things, keep you safe, and this Zealot is almost going to take out the Queen. Wow. Very nice save there by Softball, and indeed he does cancel one of the spine crawlers after seeing WhiteRa's expansion, and he's just about to have Zergling speed out. So I'm gonna do a little bit of map controlling once these Zerglings have speed. Once the Zerglings have speed, it's really up to the Zerg player to make the Protoss feel uncomfortable. If you know that there's Zerglings on the map that can just dart into your base at any second, you're much less likely to push out in a time where the Zerg player will feel uncomfortable. So WhiteRa's getting his expansion going. He's got a gas guys. He's got 3 gas up, about to start mining from that, certainly, and throwing down a Stargate. Interesting. We might be seeing some Phoenixes, which recently got a build time buff. And in the Zerg base, a Roach Warren going down. Not going to be the most useful versus Void Rays, but you know. Actually, I do believe he just sent a Zergling in there, and I think he saw that Stargate. So his lair is about halfway up. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see him start getting some Hydras, or maybe going for the whole Mutiling thing, which is popular in, well, let's see. I guess Zerg vs Protoss and Zerg vs Terran. Turns out mutas are pretty good. Zerg players like to QQ about their units. You know what? Frickin' mutas are insanely good, so just make mutas, because they're crazy good. And we have a Void Ray coming out, not a Phoenix. This is cool. I like Void Rays. Man, I remember way back in the day, this wasn't too long ago, but in the days of early StarCraft beta, WhiteRa had definitely some of the best Void Ray use in the game, in the world, really. So Sen, being very proactive, getting these rocks down, finally getting some Zerglings in to start pounding on those rocks, but Declodraw, too smart for that. Gonna push those Zerglings out. Still, nice to have this this attack path if he ever wants to take it. The only other downside to busting down those rocks is if Sen is planning on expanding somewhere around here, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. So we see he is getting burrowed research up here on the production tab. He does have a Hydralisk Den going down, so he did see that Void Ray coming out. Void Ray coming in, sniping the towers. WhiteRa choosing to reveal his Void Rays quite early. I guess just because Sen saw the Stargate already. Maybe he just felt like there was no sense of surprise with the Stargate anyway, so go ahead and show the Void Ray. Sen bringing in his queens to deny this Void Ray. Void Ray's going to be able to do a little bit of harassment, maybe take out a Overlord. Ooh, don't get too greedy. Does take out the Overlord and is able to retreat. Just losing, well, it's losing about 53 health. So not the best, not the worst. You can just let those shields recharge. And you can tell Zerg is in full production mode, getting a bunch of Hydralisks out, you know, some Groove Spine upgrades, range upgrade for the Hydras, Maynarding to his expansion, and WhiteRa still pumping out Void Rays. This is his 3rd Void Ray, so he's actually going for a quite heavy Void Ray army, and getting a Immortal out as well, an interesting choice. Also getting the Robotics Bay, eventually going to want to get Colossus out. Seeing the Void Rays come in, do some, trying to do some damage to these queens, but queens, turns out Transfuse is amazing as well, so not going to be able to do a whole lot here. Sen poking out with some roaches. Roaches are very exposed, although they do get to see the Void Rays. They're going to need to run away as quickly as they can. Void Rays aren't super great against roaches, unless the roaches just choose to sit there, which I guess these roaches were going to do for a while. That's fine, whatever, that's cool. Alright, Sen finally getting his burrow upgrade, going to try to do something fancy with that. Also getting a Spire, so possibly going to get some mutas to try to take care of these Void Rays. Corruptors, actually, not mutas, probably going to be Corruptors. Does he know about the robotics facility yet? No, he does not know. There's possibility of any kind of Colossus play coming out, but gonna have an engagement here. Just roaches against this huge army, and these Void Rays are not a harassment unit at all. They're a complete you know, army composition unit, which is really interesting. You don't see a lot of this happening in the game, where you take kind of what is this, you know, glass cannon kind of unit like the Void Ray, and you just incorporate it into your army. But this Void Rays are really kind of taking the role of Colossus in this kind of push. This is very interesting play. I didn't point it out, but WhiteRa also got the +1 attack upgrade for Zealots, which lets them just obliterate Zerglings. Only takes 2 kills to get a Zergling, and they can just rip through so many Zerglings. So an interesting transition here going from WhiteRa. going from Void Rays as a kind of army composition unit to Colossus, and he's getting his range, getting a lot more Colossus. Meanwhile, Sen is just massing up this big Ling Hydra army. And I'm assuming he's gonna start getting some Corruptors with that Spire finished. Certainly, as soon as he sees the first Colossus, on top of all these Void Rays, there's gonna be plenty of Corruptors coming out. He's solidly on third bases, so you know, income is relatively the same. Sen has a bit of an advantage there, 70 Harvesters versus 60 for WhiteRa, although WhiteRa also has his third expansion up. I'm not sure how I feel about this actually as an expansion, because it really leaves his front exposed. You can see he's got 3 cannons for defense, which is actually 4 cannons for defense. So he's definitely aware of how exposed he is in this front. So interesting choice to take this third. It looks like he's wanting to make this area his attack path into the Zerg player more than really doing anything in the center of the map. That, you know, Shakuras Plateau is a very interesting map for a lot of these reasons, and it looks like WhiteRa is going to be gearing up for an attack here. Getting close to that critical number of Colossus. He's certainly got plenty of Void Rays, and coming in for this engagement, ripping through the Zerglings. Zerglings coming in, Hydra's in the back doing a lot of damage, but the freaking Zealots just do so much damage to Zerglings, just ripping through all of those Zerglings, with the Colossus wailing on them as well. Some of these Void Rays getting up to 2, almost 3 charge with, oh my gosh, actually WhiteRa is completely dominating this army right now. He's got all of his high tier units with only 3 Corruptors to take out these Colossus and Void Rays. This is simply not going to be nearly enough by Sen. He doesn't have enough of those meaty, hard to kill units on top of WhiteRa's just massive high tier unit army with 4 Colossus and 3 Void Rays. That is just too much, and Sen has to GG out. Wow, that was actually a really cool game. I didn't even like preview this game at all. I just saw WhiteRa versus Sen and thought that was cool. Way to go, WhiteRa, for using Void Rays in that way. Excuse me, you can tell my voice is actually still not completely back from being sick. Anyway, so I'm going to make us get on the ball making some more videos for you guys. So leave me a comment, tell me what you want to see. The next thing I was thinking about making was like a tutorial on I guess hotkey management, which is just, you know, how to use all your units in effective hotkeys. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave me a comment. See you later. GG. Peace out.